On board the Camera Cat today, our usual technical crew led by Michael Chittenden, and in charge of the drone is the world's best drone pilot. That's John O'Whitty. You'll know him by the quality of his work. And driving the boat is David Witt, himself a skiff champion and, of course, well-known, renowned offshore sailor, and starting to become quite well-known Camera Cat driver too, I think. We'll get back to David in a second. And with me is Bucko. We are right alongside the committee boat. He's getting ready to fire the next gun, which will be 1 minute to go.
Just coming a minute 10 at the moment, Mark.
Super close to Clark Island here. There's a tiny gap between Clark Island and the committee boat, and we and a spectator boat are in it. The whole fleet is lined up behind us. There's a cruiser. There is the 1 minute gun. Set your watches.
Oh my God! I just had my money go in the piss.
There you go.
Down the far end of the line, David Witt's pick, Planters Online, has just done a capsize on what looked like a unsuccessful bear away, but we're not going to be waiting for him. We've got about 45 seconds to go. Shaw and Partners, I think, are struggling to get to the line on port, so they're going to tack back on starboard. Sorry, they're tacking back onto port to get a bit of windward gauge. So Winning Group and Shaw and Partners are going to be fighting out for the pin. That looks like a better ley line for Shaw and Partners as she just flicks back. You can see left end of the screen. There's the pin. The rest of the fleet all up to windward. Everyone here, though, Buck, have got plenty on just to get to the line here. It's more left than I think they were planning it to be.
Just a bit more left, and they have underestimated the current effect by the look of that.
They have, in 15 seconds to go. Shaw and Partners and Winning Group are pushing for this pin, but there's not much Winning Group can do there. Shaw and Partners have got this locked away as long as they can lay it. They've got about 4 seconds to go. Looking pretty good for Shaw and Partners. Don't think you want to be up at this end of the line, but that's where the kitchen maker decided to start, as has John Winning, Senior, of course. Yandu always starts down at this end of the line, so no question about that.
Clear
in the middle of the
one
fleet,
crash.
Yeah, we have Rag and Famish intertwined with, do you see who else that is, Bucko?
Vintech.
With Vintech. All right, that's a bit of a shame. Out the left end of the line, Winning Group tacking away from the pin. Shaw and Partners won the pin. Winning Group were next back, but they managed to get a tack in, and with the amount of port bars there is, they've crossed the whole fleet. And so Winning Group first out of that corner. They're clear across Kitchen Maker. You can just see them on screen at the moment.
I feel a bit sorry for the Italian boys that have come out to watch the Elvie. They've just capsized there on the start line. So hopefully they can get it up and going soon. I got a bit critical from Jack McCartney telling he started in row F last week, but I tell you what, he hasn't even made it to the cinema to buy the popcorn today. He's that far behind already. Come on, Jacko.
He's actually walking around the boat doing a bit of boat work there, we saw as well, just for a second. But Planters Online crossing the screen at the moment. They are back upright. They'll have a bit of a wet spinnaker and a bit of water on board, but they are up and running. And we're just going to follow into the left end of the line. These are all the guys who started nearest to the pin. But the winner of the pin is the boat in the far distance. Right in front of us now, that's Shaw and Partners. That's Smeg. And Noakes Blue in decent shape. Birkenhead Point Marina, which Whitty was talking about just a few minutes before the start. They're in decent shape down here as well. They're just going to have to find themselves a nice lane out of this corner.
Good little back eddy over on this side too, Mark. So, I mean, these guys should be pretty good. If they've got enough smooth water and not too much traffic, they should be pretty good when they get across on a port. At the moment, they're all being held up by Noakes Blue and Smeg. Shaw and Partners can't tack, I don't think, until the other guys do.
As Noakes is first out of there, just falling into Smeg. So this is going to be a duck on Armoring Pittwater. Marcus Ashley Jones looking a little more together today, Whitty. Look at that. He's in decent shape, isn't he? He's probably going to stop Shaw and Partners crossing here and Smeg crossing. Nice start by Marcus. It is Winning Group and it is John Winning Senior on Yandu. It's a winning battle out the left-hand side, and they're just looking for that lefty to come over on. It won't be long. If they don't come soon, they'll hit the rocks anyway. On camera, there they go. John Winning goes first, and John Winning Jr. goes second. And it all depends on what the next shift does.
I'll tell you who's joined the dots together best, and Noakes Blue.
And Noakes Blue for sure. Next, we're going to see that in a second as we get a wider angle in 1 minute. But we're with the left-hand group, the two winning boats. But Noakes Blue is clear across both of these two.
That's a good 40-metre gain, or 30-metre gain there.
And there's real puff, and she's on starboard right, so that's Yvette,
yep.
Heritage. Piling in on starboard, Winning going to have to do a duck. Oh no, they're going to go for the lee bow. That's not a great place for lee bow. Noakes is over them with some to spare. Not quite sure what they were thinking about there.
That'll be enjoying that.
I think Sevy thought he was in the Etchel there.
That was a duck, wasn't it? Needed to be a duck.
Needed to be a duck for sure.
And you see him there come out of the tack, though, and Sevy shaking his head.
Yeah.
To himself, I think.
Yeah.
I think so, and this was a miscommunication. Noakes Blue Yvette Heritage sailing today with Rory Hunter and Oliver Scott Mackey. Great job from those two. They've got a capsize wasp right in front of them. That's that thing in the water on the right, so they'd have to sail around a capsized boat.
Yvette's got hard left-hand pressure in front of her. She's just got to make sure she gets to a ley line here.
Yeah, that's
one tack.
You think it is a low line right where they are.
She's got a simultaneous on winning group as well, doesn't she? She doesn't want to get caught high on this ley line either. Decent tack from both of them, but winning group definitely a marginally better tack. They're up and running a little bit sooner.
And guess who's coming to the party? The Four Pines from fullback.
It's so shifty. We are only about 100 metres from the top mark. They will be rounding the top mark in a few minutes. Another big port starboard coming here. Winning group, a forced tack. Will Noakes Blue get across? Noakes Blue on port. She's across the first one. Don't think she's across the second one. No, so Smeg now have control of that group. Meanwhile, up to windward, John Winning Senior on Yandu is kept away from all the trouble, found himself a private little sneaky right-hander, and he's going to go around the top mark in first position. So Yandu at the top mark for the first time, in great shape. And the next boat steaming in here, Shaw and Partners already taking a penalty turn on starboard ley line with all the rights in the world. And they're going to cause a world of chaos as they come in on starboard. Remember, it's a starboard rounding. Port tack boats have no rights here whatsoever. Take the buoy away. It's all about port starboard. Shaw and Partners, they've got to give room to Smeg, which they do. They just forgot to pull the main sheet in. Don't drop the main sheet, lads. And Shaw and Partners going from famous to a lot less so. So second round was Smeg. Third round was Royal Oak Hotel, who, Bucko, as you said, came from absolutely nowhere. Shaw and Partners making a big mess of the corner turn, but they get through it in fourth position. There's the Kitchen Maker in fifth. Yvette Heritage, after a few moments of celebrity, is a little bit back in the cheaper seats, but she's still in good shape. And then it's Winning Group. Probably Winning Group the most disappointed in what's happened in the last couple of minutes. They were right up in first or second. They've had a pretty poor couple of legs, and they're going to go round in, it looks like eighth. Then it's Tech 2. Plants is on line with his pick, and then behind them is coming Birken Head Point Marina, cruising along nicely, just off left of your screen right now. And then it's Vintech, it's Dalzotto, and we're still looking for Ilve, who are recovered from the capsize, but I haven't got eyes on them yet. Hopefully they'll be here soon. And Rag and Famish, disappointing day for them. Finport sailing with a different crew, Bucko. Nowhere near their normal performance today, and you saw them capsize as well, didn't you?
I think they were in the tide, yeah. So, anyway, just Mark, at this point, it's the performance of Royal Oak. They were a good 80 metres adrift of the lead, after 1 minute of sailing. So they've got big rig in, and they're looking pretty comfortable.
They just picked the shift, didn't they? Look, we're just looking at Winning Group now. These boats are all jibing off onto starboard. I've just seen Ilve, who are making decent progress up that top mark. So
you definitely want the big rig on down here at the moment. Before I forget that tack of Shaw Partners, they could have been second or third around there. Doro got me after last race, wanted to know what he was doing wrong. He did. They were both went into the boat before he turned the boat, but Harry Bethwaite went with them. If they get the steering a bit out, the sheet in has to stay and keep the thing mast to the sky. I used to have to do that with his father all the time.
And out in front, there's our leader, John Winning on Yandu, who's picked his way through this nicely. Of course, he led at the top mark, picked the right-hand side of the beat at the end. That proved to be the winning manoeuvre. Found a lovely righty that gave him the lead. He's now coming towards this bottom mark. He's on starboard. Smeg's on port. They're bow to bow together as they come. Yandu has rights. They're nowhere near the mark yet. Smeg trying to cross, but I don't think she'll make it.
Yeah, she'll make it.
Smeg will jibe.
Smeg will jibe, and they should almost be jibe dropping here.
Yeah, they're getting into this pretty fast. The next boat back is going to be Royal Oak, only about 20 seconds behind the two you're looking at on screen right now. So at what is supposed to be the jibe mark, but it's almost a drop mark, there's Smeg in first place. John Winning slipped from first to second, but he's still right in this mix. He might have to get himself out on the trapeze wire. Yeah, he's done it. He's out. All three swinging now. They've got to get past this island off this corner. There's a lot of rocks off to their left. Next boat back is the Royal Oak. She'll be in third position, and after that, it's going to be Kitchen Maker, and then the Winning Group, and then Appliances Online, close behind Shaw and Partners. That is your top 8.
Woody has to bank as much height as he can here, because when they go to a 2 sail, the Smeg will be a lot quicker. So Woody's got to get as much leverage off him here with a little sail on when he can. Oh, we've got Kitchen Maker in the tide behind us at the mark. I mean, I mean, Doro's almost at a capsize. He's done a 360, and he's probably going to be 4th or 5th at the bottom mark here, so he's going quick.
Advances Online haven't put the spinnaker up, but correction, they're staying 2-cell reaching, but pointing straight at the target. Everybody else having to sail low, faster, but a lot lower with spinnakers. Net gain. Who are you with, Whitty? You with a 2-cell reacher here?
Oh, 2-cell reacher for sure. Yeah, that's why I said jibe drop at the mark.
Mark, I think you'll find that the 2-sail is not much slower than with a chute, because the lift drag ratio of the chute's not that good.
Well, that's right. I mean, at the moment, Brett Van Munster and Plants Online, he's off to the right of the picture right now. He's cutting a massive corner by 2-cell reaching. We're on Tech 2, Jack McCartney's brand new skiff, and he's going the same way as everybody else did, which means dropping the spinnaker any second now and then reverting to the 2-cell reach. We're about to see how Jack McCartney's boat handling, what stage they're at. Whitty, you can give them a score as their coach. Tell them how they're doing at this point. It's not the easiest drop to do this one.
No, but they got the sheet end dropping. He should be all right. Interesting, Royal Oak just out of shot. They've still got the spinnaker caught at the top of the mast, so...
Plenty of work to do on the boat handling right across the fleet at this stage of the season. There's Tech 2. Still haven't got the kite down. They've pretty much stopped dead in the water there.
I'd give that a 3.
And I think you'd like them to sail lower and faster there, wouldn't you? Just keep the boat trucking along.
Yeah, when he's underpowered a little bit, Jack's got to get off the wire and just run a little bit square to make it easier for the boys to get off.
It's all going on down the bottom end. These skip sailors.
Brett Munsters have to go around the back.
Oh, that's right, right in front of you. Probably just pick it up on the screen right in front of you there. There's the big white Captain Cook cruise boat. Munsters had to take a big right-hand turn to avoid it. The winning group might get a bit lucky here. Shaw and Partners has got plenty on. Shaw and Partners trying to cross the bow of that big white boat. I'm not sure if they're going to make it or not.
Poor old Appliance has got to run square now to the mark. Winning group got a bit of the same problem.
It's so hard for Brett Van Munster. He's trying to sail literally full downwind mode. He's goose winging the jib. You often see that in a skiff. He has got rights on the mark though.
Yeah, winning group's going away, obeying the law here.
Yeah, you get a lot of inside overlap angle, you come at that angle. And anyway, Brett has done well to recover, I'd say. That was not easy sailing. Great boat handling by all 3 crew on Appliances Online. And the net result, as I said, that one was almost fallen off the wire. The net result of that is Appliances Online are the leader of this little group, followed by Winning Group, followed by Shaw and Partners. Just behind us is the Royal Oak going round as well. And then it's Vintech behind.
As you'd expect, coming up to the top of the beat, Smeg in the hunt though. Smeg only adrift by 4 or 5 boat lengths, 5 or 6 boat lengths perhaps.
And this is where the big rig comes good in the lee of the hill here, Bugger.
Exactly. So you see these guys now trying to join the dots together just wind-wise. Not worrying about the angle too much, worrying more about staying in the pressure.
Appliances Online we have at the moment, just crossing behind us on starboard, coming over to try and join in the party.
Oh, I think Brett Munster joins some dots here. He'll be right back in them here.
Yeah, so Appliances on 4th or 5th, but in contact, David, just.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be close. This is going to be great. A 180 turn required by Yandu. That's a problem in itself. Winning group having to hang. Look at John Winning Jr. just having to slow the boat down, creating the space.
Just held his lane and slowed down. That's a good method. Yandu will struggle to get the barrelway done.
Yeah, that was, as you said, Bucker, the only solution. Nicely executed by Winning Group, but also nicely done by John Winning Senior on Yandu. Big turn, did that with no problem at all. So that's your 1-2. Yandu in 1, Winning Group in 2nd. Next around is Smeg, who will be just crossing the picture there. You just saw it on camera just then. There's the 2 Winning Groups, pretty much doing a like-for-like hoist on the spinnaker.
I'll tell you what, I don't think Woody should lose the phone number of the sheet hand. He was just perfect on that 2-sail around the mark, tacked around the boat like that. He was perfect.
And off on the left-hand side of the beat, that is Appliances coming into the top mark as well. Shaw and Partners go round in 4th position. Then it'll be Royal Oak and Appliances Online have got themselves a little port starboard action going on. But Appliances just scrapes past. Shaw and Partners hoisting in a monster puff bucko behind us. We're about to see these boys take off. Great positioning.
Yeah. And I mean, Smeg didn't do a very good job here in front of us, but good puff coming, and
just putting the drone down.
They would be optimistic about their chances.
This is a pretty nice leg, this, isn't it, Woody? This is the one you're powering along, 3-stringing, flat chat down here. There's no jives to think about, it's just raw power here.
Yeah, raw power and swing the big rig down. But the boys with the big rig just did a poor job up the top there. That's where they got to take the gains, and they lost. So I'd say Winning Group have just won the race here.
And there they are. There's Doro. All three crew nice and close. That's how you do it. All locked in together. They look pretty comfortable here, really, don't they? There's not a lot of drama going on, not a lot of conversation, just cruising along nicely.
No, they sail the boat well in a straight line. They just got to turn the corners a bit better.
Yes. So with the bottom mark for the last time, first boat round is the Winning Group, who's just tacking in front of us. They're going to get onto nice early port. In first position, next round, 35 seconds after them is John Winning on Yandu. So still keeping in amongst this race, John Winning without any question. He's been in first or second on the racetrack. He just got rolled a little bit on that powerful three just then.
Just on screen, we've got Shaw Partners rounding, and Brent Munster trying to get round the outside of him. I think he gets through on the wire. He might get him here for the first of the big rigs.
Shaw and Partners very untidy into the bottom mark. Very untidy.
Yep.
Got the wing in the water and all sorts of bother. So that's not good. That's cost them any chance of getting on the podium, I would suggest.
Check into the rest of the fleet. John Winning Senior on the Yandu, just on screen right now, tacking in a bit of a lull. He's looking like he's got his second pretty much sewn up, if they can just keep everything calm. But behind them is quite a nice battle developing between Smeg and Royal Oak. And the Shaw Partners has dropped back a little bit off this group. So it looks like it's those two and Appliances Online as the battle for third, fourth, fifth. And last week, Bucko, I watched the movie of the race. There were a couple of very, very tight finishes, weren't there? Like literally the odd millimetre between, I think, two different finishes.
A short half head, it's called in the racing trade, mate.
Super short half. Yeah, it was very tight indeed. This is the battle. Royal Oak Hotel just being crossed by Smeg on port and Appliances Online, nothing more than 5 boat lengths behind them. It could be any one of these three. It's shifty as you like up here in Rose Bay. Plenty of pressure up here, but you've got to choose the right side.
Just getting a spray from Andy Hay.
And Nick Press, isn't that?
Sailing the 12.
Yeah, with Nick Press. There's a hell of a combination. Yeah, 12-foot skiff fleet just sailing past us as well. Having a little look at what's going on.
Mate, it's easier sailing an 18 unless it is driving the Canberra Cat.
Yeah, it's a little hectic, isn't it, here? Trying to keep out of the way as best we can while still trying to give you guys the best shot at home. Therein lies the compromise. Back at the top mark, you just see a white spinnaker in the distance. That is the Winning Group, who've gone round the first mark, the top mark for the last time in clear first, as expected. And now John Winning has recovered from his little dangle off the side. He's looking sorted on starboard ley line. He'll be approaching the mark in about a minute's time.
I think it doesn't take much. And each of these other boats, you can identify something fairly bad that went wrong at some point during the race, you know, and that's all you've got, accretion of errors.
That's right.
I'll still stick that a very well sailed big sail probably would have still won today, I think.
I think that you're right, Davey. I don't doubt that. So a minute 50 mark.
There you go. So back at the top mark, we're just watching Winning Group just then sailing back off towards Point Piper and the finish. She's probably about 2 minutes away from the finish. Clear win, she's going to win the race for sure. Yandu has just gone round the top mark. That's the white spinnaker off the right of your picture. She is round in second, and the third, fourth, fifth battle is right in front of us right now. There it is. Royal Oak on starboard. Smeg coming in on a nice port ley line. Plenty of pressure. Appliances has always been the back of this group of three, but there's plenty of runway left. Anything could happen. Any one of these three could get the third place.
So now, if Smeg lay here, if Smeg managed to lay here, which, you know...
Looks skinny, doesn't it?
Well, Royal Oak's made a big decision. They had him port starboard there. They should have gone bow down and made Smeg tack.
If Smeg lays, as you said, but Smeg has almost got enough room to actually two-tack it now. There's a bit of a gap behind them. Smeg sailing super skinny, super slow. They just want to get around this, and I think they're going to do it.
So Royal Oak's crossed and extended, and then they've laid. That's a bad mistake. I mean, the Royal Oak goes quick through the wall, and they handle the boat quite well, but they lose the boat-on-boat battle tactically.
I think that's 100% right. I think we've seen that a couple of races this season. They've got plenty of pace and plenty of tactical ability to get to the top mark, but they somehow come off second best on a bunch of one-on-ones.
It's a pretty new team, though, Mark. I mean, give them some credit for getting...
Oh, I'm giving them plenty of credit. I've been really impressed by how consistently they get to the top mark in such good shape. I mean, it's really good. They've just got to win those one-on-ones.
Today they didn't start well, and they didn't get the shoot off cleanly on the bottom reach, which is critical. So there's about, I would suggest, a minute and a half worth of error, if you like, and they're still in the hunt, more or less.
Well, I think the most impressive thing is, Bucko, they've probably handled the bigger rig better than anybody with the big rig on today. And if they're a new team, they've got plenty of promise.
That's right.
So after Appliances Online went round, the next boat is going to be Rag and Famish.
Tsunami, boys, Tsunami.
Then it'll be Shaw and Partners, and then it's Vintech, and then it's Dalzotto, followed by Jack McCartney's Tech 2. That's your top 10. Birkenhead Point Marina, the next boat back after that. But we're going to concentrate on this battle for third, fourth, fifth. Appliances Online jibed away early. In front of us is the Royal Oak Hotel, who's the middle of the three, and Smeg went all the way to the left-hand ley line, looking downwind. Right now, the boat on screen, Royal Oak, looks in pretty good shape. Bucker, how are you seeing this?
I'd love to be on the Royal Oak now.
You know, the Royal Oak's dusted them here. Got it, jibed on the face of a good path. Smeg jibed in a lull, came out slow. Appliances might still be in it, but from here, Royal Oak should be able to get third, I think.
Well, we saw this last week, didn't we? Several boats all coming down here as a pack of three or a pack of four, and it only got decided on the very last jibe, right on the line. Could happen again today. Off in the distance, the winning group are just about to cross the finish line down by the city CBD in the very far distance. So that'll be a win to the winning group. No bad things have happened to them. And John winning on Yandu. John winning senior looks like he's going to be taking a safe second place as well. But third, fourth, fifth, any one of these three can do it. They all want to make it. A little bit of bragging rights. Not many races left before Christmas. Just Friday for the Super Cup for those people who are taking part. And then there is a race on Sunday. Then that's racing over until Christmas time anyway. And then we're back. I think it's middle of January. Is that right, Bucko? Middle or maybe third week of January. I forget the exact date. But anyway, you'll see the schedule on the club's website.
Yeah, I think the third week of January.
I think it is, yeah, usually third week. It's about a 3-4 week gap, but everybody gets here. Long Christmas holiday. Of course, it's summer down here in the Southern Hemisphere, and people are off on long school holidays or trips abroad, and one or two take the trip south down to Hobart as well, which can suck up a bit of time if you're on a smaller boat. If you're on a big boat, David, you're on a big one this year. How many days is it going to take you?
It's 36 hours or 48 hours, something like that. I'm just having a look here at the race. And the Royal Oak, everyone's gone bow up here. They need a good puff to drive back on. I think Smeg's still got them, but you never know. They're a little bow down there, Bucko. They're a big chance.
Yeah, it's super close, isn't it?
Here we go. Here comes the cross. I say Royal Oak's got him here, Bucko.
Yeah, no, they were in front on the previous cross.
Yeah.
Smeg trying to plant on them and give them some dirty air.
Bad jibe.
And, you know, the jibe is expensive. Royal Oak clean in front of those other two boats for dirty air. Appliance is going to hurt Smeg here, I would suggest, as well. And I think Royal Oak might be laying the line, in fact.
So the three boats that you can see on camera on from the drone shot, that is the three boats we've been talking about coming towards the camera. We're just behind them. So we've got two different angles, but they're both sailing towards the finish line. We're less than about a minute and a half from the finish, so they've really all got one jibe left, two if they get their angles wrong. All three from the angle we're at, they're all pretty level. The right-hand boat looking downwind's got the advantage. That's Royal Oak. Smeg, Appliances Online, but anything can happen into this finish. It's not the longest finish line. There's a little bit of pressure on them to find and pick the right lay. But Royal Oak have got all the control here, Bucker. They've got to mess this up to lose it.
Yeah, they just got to make sure they
just don't overlay
the lay line. But I think they make fairly good decisions on usually about these things. So let's see. And they just got a synchro jibe with Smeg a bit as well. So there they go. And their jibing's been very good.
All three pretty much go simultaneous. Appliances, of course, led the charge in to try and make something happen.
Yeah.
And the other two have gone.
Charging into Smeg and causing them to heat up. That lets 4 pints off the hook.
Yeah, 4 pints is going to get nice. Not an obvious amount of bias. Maybe the boys slightly biased, but not enough to make a big difference. And in the end, Royal Oak did a really nice job. They finished that off well. Didn't have the best event at the top mark, but they found that puff, as you mentioned, Bucko, jibed at just the right moment and have kept it cool up until that point. Up at the pin end, you can see a bit of a barging match going on there. Plants Online just managing to claim water to get down and inside there. And Smeg have to give up the fourth position, and they end up in fifth. So in third place was Royal Oak Hotel, nicely handled at the end by those guys. Then Appliances Online, followed by Smeg, and of course already finished is the winning group and Yandu. So that's our top five.
Yeah, so the 4 pines you see there coming at them from picking up from some errors. And you just think that if they keep sailing and practicing, they might end up
I agree. They've got some talent and they've got some pace. Shaw and Partners just crossing the line now. They'll be going around in cross the line in 6th. Closely followed by Rag and Famish in 7th position. And the group behind them is the Vintech, Tech 2 and Dalzotto group. Coming down here with plenty of pace as well. There's pretty much the whole fleet, apart from Ilve, pretty much the whole fleet's going to be finishing in the next few minutes. So just approaching the finish, there is Vintech with and Tech 2. Looks like she's a couple of boats back. Oh, no, she's just rolled on top of Dalzotto. So Jack McCartney having a nice little end to this race. These are the guys you're going to be coaching. So what are you going to start with? Where do you start with a coaching program?
I'll start with the bowman. That's number 1. Get Tret Barnabas.
Yeah,
and then we'll work from there.
So your first job is a phone call.
Yeah, first job is a phone call, and second job, from what I've seen in the last 2 weeks, is get him off the start line. It's been row F and row Z the last 2 weeks. I think he might have had a problem today. He was at the back of the boat trying to fix something.
That's generous words from a generous coach. These will be the last generous words, I'm sure. But maybe you're right. Maybe he was. Maybe they just got it wrong. We're not sure we got it on camera. It might be on film. It might be worth it. Sometimes I'm sure people watching at home, you might do this. Sometimes there's stuff that we don't actually see, but the camera sees it. It's often worth going back and doing a quick replay. If there's a particular moment you want to understand a bit better, tactical or a rules issue or whatever, that's the great thing. Just go back and watch the YouTube recorded version. Those recorded versions are available whenever you want them. You can even go back to the archive and watch JJ Gilton races from a year or two ago, or right back to about 5 or 6 years ago, if you're so inclined. Certainly, from a coach's point of view, being able to go back and watch today's race where you're going to get a decent amount of footage of your boat, assuming it's not right at the back of the fleet anyway, you're going to get a decent amount of airtime. Great way to analyse what's been going on.
I think Jack will be fine. I mean, the boat's really good. It's brand new, and it's sort of pretty quick from what we've seen. He's just got to get the cohesion together, and he's used to my brutal honesty, so he'll take it on board well. And
do you think, we've got Kitchenmaker about to cross the finish line, do you think Jack is a better skiff sailor for having 2 years out, being a big boat guy, or is he going to be rusty?
Good question. I think the good guys are good in anything.
No,
right?
he was, the way he sailed, what was it, Armarine a couple of weeks ago, he sailed it impeccably. So that's, him stepping into the back of an existing platform with an existing partnership in front of him.
Yeah, but you get Tret Barnabas in the bow in a couple of weeks, you'll see a huge difference.
Yeah. So just crossing the finishing line, Noakes Marine Blue, Yvette had a fantastic first part of the race. Remember, she's one of our leaders at the top mark for the first time. And then it slightly unravelled after that. We didn't quite see exactly what went wrong, but I think they might have had an issue at the first jibe mark, possibly. Maybe a capsize or maybe just a boat handling issue.
I think they had a little intersection with somebody on the run.
Right, that would make sense. And just behind Noakes is going to be Birkenhead Point Marina. And then after that, it's going to be Ilve. That is your race for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been a nice day on the harbour. We didn't get as wet as we thought we would do. David Witt, thanks for driving and keeping us dry. Beautiful work there. Hope you've seen enough to arm yourself with coaching notes for Tech 2. Good luck at the Hobart, coming up in a bit, and look forward to seeing you on Friday at the Super Cup as a competitor. And Bucko, thank you as well for, as ever, insight, analysis, and telling us what the hell's going on out there. Looking forward to Bucko also be with us for the Super Cup on Friday. We'll be picking the bones out of what we see in front of us.
That might be quite entertaining.
There will be. It'll be great. It'll be interesting.
Time to have a go at me, Bucko.
We'll be able to discuss our compatriot, Mr. Witt.
Fantastic. And thank you to all our tech team, as ever, Michael Chittenden and his tech team, bringing the whole thing together. Thank you for watching the skiff racing wherever you are around the world, whether you're watching live or recorded. Pleasure to have you with us. The season is just starting to get ramped up. It all starts to go into overdrive from now onwards. Only 10 weeks to go till the big event, but hopefully you can join us on Friday for the Super Cup. See you then, and goodbye. Good day from Sydney Harbour.